welcome to Fresh Vibes.
Thank you.
So much.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, we're
Excited to be
here.
here. Oh my god.
We always talk at the same time.
Well, that's perfect that you're so in sync.
Thank you.
Well, welcome Joy, welcome Grace.
Thank you so
from
much.
JYCE DJ.
Yes.
We got to see you yesterday at the CALEA Club playing your set for many hours, and it was really, really cool.
Thank you so
you.
much. That was actually really
Yeah.
nice to be here, play here. I feel like the crowd was really vibing
Yeah.
with us, so
We
we
had a
really
great
loved it.
time,
Yeah.
And this was your first time performing in Vienna in Austria, but not in Europe.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't the first time in Europe, but the first time in Vienna. But we actually loved
Yeah,
it. We have
it
some
was very
friends
nice.
here as well, so they came. And they saw us in Nigeria, in other places. So seeing us in Europe was really nice for them as well. They're just like following us around the world.
And I had no
That's
idea
cool.
that the crowd would be like so interaction with us and like enjoying and vibing on the music. It was very like surprising for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also there, and it was great vibes.
Thank you
So
so much.
really, really cool. We've already heard that you've been traveling a lot. We've heard that you are DJing, but could you tell us a little bit more of what the genre is that you're playing, how this all started, and what brought you here, basically, sitting here talking to me?
So we actually, the genre is more like afrobeats, amapiano, but we travel a lot, so we mix a lot of different kinds of music. For example, we
had
went
a
to
lot of,
Tanzania, so we included some Tanzanian song in our set, some like French song also, because we speak French, we have a huge like francophone community. So it's really like a mix of different kinds of music, but mostly afrobeats and amapiano. And we started this genre because we a lot in Nigeria, so we really started to DJ in Nigeria, and Afrobeats is huge over there. It's really like blowing all over the world. So we've been influenced by this kind of like culture, this kind of music, and I think you can really like feel it in our music, in our set. So that's basically what we play. And how it started.
I think we have kind of a different journey into the DJing stuff. So I think I've always listened to a lot of music and a lot of different music. So with time, it just came very naturally to me I mean, it's like I've always known that I wanted to work in the music, like doing something related to music. And then when my sister came into it as well, it was like very logical for me to do it together, because we travel a lot together. I love music, she loves music, so it was like
and we've been surrounded by music all our life, because like I played piano for 7 years when I was a kid. My sister was playing violin, my brother plays saxophone, so we've been surrounded by music. And then I dated someone that was in the music industry like 2 years ago, and so we've been surrounded even more by music, because like there was a studio at home, a lot of artists were coming to record, so it's just like it just clicked, and we really dived into the DJing after my relationship, because we're always surrounded by music, and it just made sense. And we started to DJ, and we saw that we actually love it. It wasn't that serious in the beginning. And then I feel like a couple of months ago, we really dive into it like properly. So it's very different. My sister is, because like she's always loved it. Me, I was just coming out of a breakup. I really did something to take my mind off everything. And I dived into the DJing, and it helped me so much. I loved it so much. And everybody started to tell that, oh my God, you're so skilled, it's really nice. So I was like, okay, there is something to do here. And yeah, that's something we just love. We always like very sociable, vibing with the crowd, traveling for like the music. So I feel like it just fits with our personalities.
And our lifestyle as well.
And our lifestyle,
We've always been traveling a lot. It's very easy for us to travel, like we can adapt everywhere. We speak English, we love discovering like new culture, new everything, so
and
it really fits to our lifestyle. That's why you were asking about the genres. It's very easy because we have influence from everywhere since we're traveling a lot. So that's what makes our set very like special and unique, I think.
But I want to go back to what you just said. So even though music was always or is always a part of your life, this professional journey has just started a few months ago. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
And it's very surprising, because like most people, we've been playing in like the biggest venues.
And we shared lineups with like big DJs.
Like sometimes we just see like, you know, big events, and you can see some big names in the industry, and JYCE as well. Like, oh my God, like it's us. So it's been very, very exciting. I feel like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but we always have this connection with the crowd. Like every time we play somewhere, we're just like vibing so much with like the people, and that just makes it so like easy to, you know, come back, and people love the set, and it went crazy. It really blew up in like just a couple of weeks, a month. So yeah.
I mean, I can agree. I've only met you yesterday, and you have really great energy, and I think that just translates to the venue that you're playing, the club that you're playing, the people you're around with. That's really, I think it's you can feel it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But since this all has just started, but really like developed so quickly, how does it feel to be in this industry now? But also, to me, when I think of DJs, I mostly think of men. I feel like it's a very men-dominated area. So how is it for you, especially if it's because it's also so international? It's not just one context.
Yeah,
I think step by step there is more and more girls going into the DJ stuff.
Nice.
It's like
but
it's still very small.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
like
very
small.
overwhelming. Yeah.
But I feel like because we're two as well, it's easier for us because like you know that you always have like a support system. You always have like, you know, someone who got your back. So when sometimes you're a bit like demotivated because obviously you face some challenges due to the fact that you're a woman, you still have like the other person to like motivate you. And when the other person is a bit down, like, you know, you just hear.
But that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think being a woman in this industry is one of our biggest challenge. Even together, like just the fact that we are women. So it's like a very, very big challenge because you have to show people that, okay, I'm a woman, I'm pretty, I can dress and everything, but yet I still have some skills and I have something more to propose and to give you.
And just being pretty and
so I think that's definitely one of our biggest challenge. And as you said, it's a mostly men-dominated industry, so you really have to sometimes like fight for what you want and make them understand that, okay, I'm young, I'm a woman, but I know what I want and I'm gonna get it anyway. So but sometimes it can be like tricky.
But then from your experience, how do you fight for what you want in this industry? Maybe
I feel like it's mostly like by you have to prove yourself. So obviously people would have some cliche because when you come, they would just see you as like a beautiful woman, but I feel like it's just part of the game. Like we all have
our challenges.
Yeah, our challenges. So when you come, just like make sure that you give to people who like booked you a great time. Like show them that you're actually more than what they think. And I feel like when you gain their respect, it's just like it just goes so easily after that. So it might be harder in the beginning, but once you gain like people's respect, it's actually easier after that.
And you have to be always very consistent. Even if you have, let's say, for example, yesterday we had a great show, you have to keep coming, keep being always like propose people like some new things, new sets, new contents, like always just like keep being consistent, always.
And people think that DJing is just like playing music, but it's not just that you actually have to like know what's, you have to stay updated, you have to always like update your playlist and connect with the crowd.
I think that's one of the biggest, like to me at least, is one of the most important things. You have to be able to interact and connect with your crowd.
You can't just come and play what you plan to play. It's not like that. So there's a huge part that, like there's a huge work behind being a DJ. It's not just coming. That's actually the best part, the part that you see just playing. It's actually the nice part, but you have a lot of very like serious and organized and rigorous part.
You have a big behind the scenes.
Exactly, you have a big behind the scenes. It's a lot of time. Like it's actually a full-time job.
It's good that you already mentioned this because I wanted to ask as well. Like DJing seems, or I feel like to some people it's similar to just playing press on on a Spotify playlist, but to hear that there goes so much.
Because that's something I discovered like by doing it. Because even for me, like before, I was like, oh, okay, being a DJ is like you press play and pause and that's it. But it's so much more than it. Like you really have to be working always. You have to keep like being updated on what's going out. And we travel a lot, so
the good DJs and the bad DJs like that. Obviously, there are so many people who DJ, but not everybody is going to make it. And hard work is one of the key to like success in this industry.
And I think you really have to be able to adapt yourself because we travel a lot, but it's also something to travel. You have to be. You can't travel if you're not open-minded and ready to like open yourself to new things. Like I couldn't play what I'm playing back in Lagos exactly the same way I would play it here. You have to always, so you have to always be like keep updating. If you know you're going to be in this country next week, just like start working on what they like, what they want to hear, so you can mix between what you do and what they want.
Like,
so
being a DJ is not just like pleasing yourself, you know, like you actually have to like please your crowd.
You have to find the perfect balance.
That's it's good to know also that it's not just like standing behind the desk and so you already said about what motivated you in the beginning of professionalizing DJing, but what is something that motivates you now, that keeps you going and also helps you be so consistent all the time?
I think it's the fact that we love what you do. We actually love it, and I think we found something that fits like our personalities perfectly, and so it doesn't. Obviously, sometimes it's hard, sometimes because it's a proper job, but it doesn't really feel like working because we love it. So it's just like amazing to be able to like just connect with people. Like me, for example, I'm a very sociable person. So the fact that DJing helps me to and allows me, my job allows me to just like connect with people all the time. I love that. We love music, so we work in music. So I feel like just loving what you do is just like easier to like just make you keep going. And so we have our brother, and he's a saxophonist. So it's
you
like,
saw him yesterday, actually.
So it's like a family thing. Now, you know,
I think being able to do this thing with my family, and I think it's the same for you.
It's
it's like an amazing feeling. And I would say also that. We have like a double culture. We were born in Paris, but our parents are originally from Cameroon. We've been traveling a lot, so being able to being like a link between different places, I think that's very challenging, but also that's very interesting to know that I'm from Paris, and we could be like maybe a link between French artists and another place like Tanzania, for example.
You have a lot of DJs from like this part of the world, the English part of the world, and other DJs from French part of the world, but you don't have any DJs that really like connect, like a bridge between like all these.
Like when we went in Tanzania, we played some music from Paris, and people were like, "That's crazy!" Like, I love it, and I don't think no one would have done that before. Not because they don't want to, but because maybe they don't know how to do it, because they don't have as much influences as we do. So that's one of the very interesting parts for what's coming. Like next.
And same when we played in Tanzania, we took some Tanzanian songs, and now when we travel, like we played in other parts of the world, and people they love it, and they're just like, oh wow, I don't know this song, what's that? And it's just so amazing to see like how the music is just like traveling. There is no borders, and that's really nice to see that we part of that, not us, but us as DJs, like DJs in general. I think they're really important to just like make music travel all over the world.
And I think there's so many new things that, so many positive things, that can come from that out in the future. Because music is traveling a lot right now, thanks to like social medias and everything, thanks to what we're doing right now. So I think in the future it's going to be very interesting, like for us, because we were asking what our next challenge is. I think that's one of the biggest ones.
Take it to like a really like international level.
Being able to bring like some unexpected like collaboration and everything, that would be very, very interesting for us.
But it's so cool to me that while I feel like there's two sides to you in a way, where you're so like international, we have to go bigger and better and international, but then you're also kind of grounded or so rooted in your roots in that sense, like also saying how family is important to you, your sisters, but also about your brother. So for those who weren't part of yesterday's amazing event, you played, it was so cool. Suddenly, your brother comes out with a freaking saxophone. It was so cool. I've never had an experience like that in a club. It was so fitting. It went together so well. So does that really help that you stay so close, connected with your roots on the one hand, but then also with your family? Like your brother is part of your experience. Like, can you share a bit more of how that goes together?
I think it feels real because we actually have a genuine connection. Like we've always got along so well. Like my parents really worked hard and put in effort to have like siblings that get along.
Yeah.
Like for example, when we like everybody's like, have you ever fight or something like that? We never, like.
People even think we're lying.
Yeah,
they're like, stop lying. I know you fight, but we really don't.
Obviously, like with sister and brothers, sometimes we argue, but it's never.
Yeah, it's so shallow. Like it's nothing deep.
And it has always been like that. Like we have such there's so much love in around us.
And we just like help each other. Like for example, we know that we had this event yesterday. So the first thing we thought when we know that we would play in Vienna was calling our brother because he was in Paris. So yeah, obviously, and same thing with him. Sometimes he's in Paris and he's going to be like, oh, I had this and this for you girls, so you can just jump on it.
Always help each other, support each other, and I think because it's like genuine and it's real, it just shows when we work all together.
But I think it's, to me, it's very important to have to be aware of your roots and to be close to your roots if you don't want to lose yourself. Because if you really want to be international, you have to be surrounded by people that really love you, genuinely, and support you in what you do. So I think that's one of our biggest strengths as well, to do it as sisters and with our brother when we can bring him with us. That's so powerful and and you really have to be you need people you can really trust. And you can really feel 100% comfortable with.
Definitely. You feel yourself.
You don't have to pretend, or you don't have to do anything.
And our parents support us a lot as well. So we have a very safe environment emotionally, so it helps.
And that's what makes you able to go international, to go always further, because you know that at the end of the day you can always come back to the safe place.
That's really good to know. I think sometimes when I would imagine that if something like this happens so fast, going from place to place, all this professionalizing of your of your craft, of the DJing, if that goes so fast and you see so many different people, you meet so many new faces, not having the support system could be so overwhelming. But then having your parents being supportive, sharing experience with your brother, that's so cool. That's really amazing. And that is great that you've just always been like that, and now you just take it with you.
Exactly. Now we just take it into the music stuff. Even personally, it has always been like that. So.
That's really cool. Have you already performed in Cameroon as well?
No,
not yet.
Okay. We went to Cameroon just once.
As kids.
As kids. But we actually, now that we travel a lot in Africa, we definitely want to go to Cameroon and just do something there. It would be really amazing. I have our country. We actually want to connect with our roots. Because it would be really amazing. So we actually planning to go this year again.
Do you connect a lot with? Do you also connect a lot with other DJs or artists in general?
So with a lot of artists, we have a lot of friends in the music industry, and I think that's something also that really gave us the made us want to be in this industry as well. And DJs as well. And the funny thing is that before we started, we thought that maybe there would be a lot of competition with other DJs, and they're actually so nice. Most of the time, either it's an event or a club or anything, if there's another DJ before or after you, we help each other. It's really nice. The vibe.
We just share
DJs.
contacts. If I played in this place and I know you want to play there too, I can just give you the contacts and everything.
There's a really
that was surprising for me.
That was really surprising for me as well. I would think that the competition is going to be huge, and us we really we genuinely nice with people. So I was for sure people are going to walk over us and things like that, but not at all. The energy is just really nice. So. But maybe it's also the energy you give that you receive back. So
probably. But okay, so I would have also thought that this is a very competitive, music in general, because a lot of people do it. But it's really good to know that your environment is really supportive.
But also I think that Afrobeat is very improving right now. And I think people knows that we can go together. There's no need to just being always trying to being the best and just hide people, walk over people, as you say. So it's even better for everyone to help each other because we just like all go up together.
And it's not like always super nice and super rosy.
Definitely.
But I think, because obviously it's an industry, it's a small industry, there's competition, but there's less competition than what I would thought. Like, and as you say, like it's like a community, at least in the Afrobeat industry, and people really like know that we need each other to like grow. Especially the way it blew up recently, like Afrobeats, it went until like the US charts, and that's thing that has never been seen before. So people were just like, okay, when we help each other, we can actually go like so far. So let's just like, you know, help everybody. And so it's not always rosy, but it's actually, it's a nice industry as well.
So far.
Okay, now it should stay that way.
I think like everybody has a different experience. But from our experience, from my personal experience, I've loved working in this industry.
But I think also the fact that we had friends in this industry before we started, we already had an understanding of how it works before starting, so that helps also. We just it's not like we just came into it as like we knew some things about the industry before starting, so I think that made it easier for us as well.
Is there something that you can share with like upcoming artists, people who want to start doing music professionally, maybe DJing, where it's really something that if you do not have, like if you don't have access to the industry before, like you wouldn't know these things, but it's really important to know. Like, do you have any tips?
So one of the biggest advice I would tell is like, don't be scared and go outside, try to perform outside as much as possible, because I know that when you start, you want to be perfect, you want to practice at home and have a perfect playlist, have a perfect set
that was me.
before you go out. Because my sis is very like she loved to play safe, so she was a bit not scared, but she was a bit apprehensive to
I
go
was so
outside.
perfectionist, like
she's very perfectionist, and me, I'm the opposite. Like I don't really, it doesn't have to be perfect, but like just go, like take a risk. And I think it's better like that, because when you play outside, that's where you make your mistakes sometimes, and it's fine, but at least that teaches you so much. So that's my biggest advice. Like, don't stay home, don't play it safe. Like, it's okay, all the DJs, you're gonna make mistakes, we all make mistakes, and it's part of the thing, you know. And it's better to make the mistake outside, and you know that, okay,
that's
I'm
how
not
you
gonna
learn.
that's how you learn. Than like playing a perfect set at home, and maybe in 1 year, like you go outside at a huge event and you do that mistake that you shouldn't do. So literally, like, don't play it safe. Like, don't be scared. It's okay. Like, find your support system. Whether it's like your family, friends, yourself, your pet, like anything. But I feel like all human beings can find their own support system to keep going.
Yeah. Wow, that's really great advice.
Even me, I'm like, wow.
So after this trip here to Vienna, what's next? Whether that be in the next week, next month, or even years?
So we're going back to Paris today.
Wow.
It's my birthday, so I really want
to... Oh, congrats! Happy birthday!
I actually had my birthday.
Yesterday.
My birthday yesterday. I think it was really nice. Thank you. And so I really want to see my family, celebrate it with my family and friends.
We've been moving so much, we didn't see them in a while.
So we're going to go back to Paris just 2 days, then we're coming back to Vienna, then we're going to Lagos, then after Lagos we most likely going to Abidjan, Ivory Coast, because they have an opening, so they want to book us. Then we have another event in Lagos actually, again, and then we're planning to go to Tanzania, because we went to Tanzania already, it went amazing, so we're going back. And then
we're planning
South Africa.
we're planning to come back to Europe, but we're waiting for summer to be,
there are a lot of events in summer. We can't talk about it yet, but we actually have a lot plans on during this summer. And but there are a lot of places that called us, is that we can't be everywhere at the same time. Dubai called us as well. South Africa, we really want to go, because we also have a lot of friends in the
there's a lot coming
industry, and there's a lot going on in the piano industry. That's a really nice kind of music as well. So South Africa for sure. And I can't wait to go back, because I went to South Africa last year for my birthday. That was the first time, and I loved it. Like, if you have the opportunity to go to South Africa, go to South Africa. It's really nice. so we can't wait to go back, and then we'll see. Like it's just moving really fast. So so yeah, we'll probably be on the road
and
the
just
whole
like
year.
things keep coming. So sometimes we don't even plan, and it just comes. Like
This
so.
morning we woke up and we saw mail from my management. They said that there's a place in Zambia that wants us to go.
So it
wow.
just like keeps coming all the time. So there's the part that is planned, and there's another part that just like keep coming randomly. So.
But do you have even time to process all of this, or how do you take a step back and think like, wow, in the last 4 weeks I was in 10 different places. I did like, do you have time to?
Sometimes yes. When you're in the rush, we don't
have time.
We don't really have time. But sometimes you just like stop for a day and you're like, oh, wow.
Like we're really big on like meditation and yoga and all that, and it really teaches you how to pause sometimes and just do nothing and just like realize everything that is going on in your life. So obviously when it's the rush, we don't have time because like we have to be there, then go to this interview, then go to this gig, this event, and so it's the rush. We don't really have time to process it. But as soon as we have like a little bit of time for ourselves, free time, we just like pause and chill, do some like stupid things like go to the spa, but at the same time you don't do nothing, you're just like having a massage and you can just think about all of that.
But I think the fact that we're two helps too, because you're always with someone, so you just keep it very real. Like if I was doing all of that alone, I would be like, am I just dreaming or is it happening? But the fact that she's always here and we just like keep talking about it, it helps processing it. So it just makes it very real.
Can you realize?
Just like you're like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? It really helps.
We're very open to each other, so it helps.
Okay, but it's good that even so in the moment, of course, like so much is going on, it's hard to like press or like hit the brakes, but that you still at least try to find this moment of just like calmness and realizing that.
I think it's really important. And even to be grateful about it, because when you're in the rush, you don't really have time to, you don't have time to nothing. You don't have time to process.
You just do your thing and
you just do
go
your
from a
thing.
place to another place.
And sometimes you're super tired because just like you went on a flight yesterday, you didn't have time to sleep, and now you're in another country. So even just being tired like doesn't allow you to like process everything that is going on. But I think it's really important to just like pause, just to like be grateful about everything that happens. Like I know some people have been hustling for like years, and they couldn't even like do half of what we did in like a couple of months. So just being like very thankful, very grateful, before like also seeing the next step. Because it's nice to always like
sometimes it just become a race and you don't even have time to realize what you have right now.
So just pause and be like, it's amazing everything that is going on, and like thank you so much. So I think it's really important to take that time. It's not just DJing, but everything you do like in your life, like. And I feel like being grateful helps you to like get more. I don't know how to, but I'm very big on all that, like meditation, yoga. So, but I really think that being grateful and thankful really helps you to see your life a positive way, and it helps you to clear your mind and just like always go further. So.
Yeah, I think these are really words to live by, like you said, not just for the professional path, but really personally.
It helps.
Is there anything particular that you want to accomplish within JYCE, I don't know, let's say in the next 12 months? Or is everything moving so fast that you're like, okay, whatever happened, like we're just...
I feel like in the beginning we had like very, like we had plans, precise plans. But I feel like it's going so fast that probably the plans that we had for in 6 months has already happened. So now
I think we just balance between just going with the flow and at the same time keep structure and be able to to know that like next month I want to be there and the next month I want to be there. But also we really try to balance it because you can't plan everything.
And it really helped me, like teaching really helped me, because I used to be very control freak, very organized, very in my life, because I've always had like a lot of ambitions. I feel like when you're ambitious, you really have to like plan your life. But with DJing, it's so like, it came so naturally, and it just helped me to like let go and just embrace whatever happens, and just trust your process because it's going to be amazing anyway. So and you, it's a bit the opposite. My sister
it's
was so
exactly the
chill,
opposite.
and I feel like
I
DJing
always
really
take life
made
as it comes, and just like I just go with the flow.
and now it's the
it just
opposite,
taught me to be like, you can't always go with the flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes obviously you have to know like what you want to do at this point and at this point.
So we really switch our
the
personalities.
funny thing is like DJing really fit our personalities, whether we're like so different. So like we like almost opposite on some points, but it still fits ourselves.
But how is your creative process like? Because it's good that you're together, but it's also a bit more tricky, I would imagine, because it's not just one opinion, it's two, and you have to find that.
And we started to travel before the DJing stuff. Like we've done a lot of things together before the DJing stuff.
Yeah, we know each
so
other
everything
so
was
well.
already settled. But obviously sometimes we still have to have this time where she creates on her own and I create on my own, and sometimes we do it together. You just have to always find a time for the yourself and for the together. So as long as we have both this time,
in DJing we actually get along quite well.
Definitely.
It's not hard to
but because it was
together.
already settled before, it's not something that we had to work on after. It just came very naturally. So
and we also complete each other a lot. Like there are some part, for example, my sis is very perfectionist, so she stressed a lot before gigs. Like most of the time she's like, okay, I'm very but it's a good stress. You know, it's a stress that really helps her to like be better. But me is the opposite. Like me, I'm so chill. Like I go to the gig and I just feel like as long as there's a crowd and I connect with people, I love it anyway. So sometimes she's stressed and I'm just here to like unstress her, if I can say it that way. And on other part, like I would have my flows and she's really chill about that and she would help me. So I feel like we really complete each other in that way.
We're a good team.
We're a good team actually.
That's good. But also cool that you still like you said, sometimes you start from the beginning to do stuff together, but then also there are times where you focus on
That's very important
yourself.
because the thing about teaching is like there is a lot of there is a big creative part, and I think creativity is sometimes something very personal. So you really have to keep this time for yourself. If you listen to different DJs, we all have our own way to do stuff. So obviously it's not because we're a group together that we still like individuals. So we still need this time for her to create the way she likes to do, and same thing for me. So it's very important to keep this balance between we're JYCE, but she's also Joy and I'm Grace. So sometimes we just need to separate and just like work on our like
to come back together better. But it's quite natural.
And that's cool because you have instead of one way to do things, you have two ways to do things.
So and it's like you didn't even think about something, and all of a sudden the other person comes with a new idea, and you're like, oh, that's actually amazing. I was actually blocked on that part, and you just like helped me to unlock something. So it really helps. It's like two brains, you know. So it helps.
It's just like more creativity, more productivity, like more everything.
That's really good.
Yeah, because you can also push each other when one is not.
Exactly. I think it's. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's easier being two.
I don't know. I think it depends on your personality.
Because some
really
people
depends.
say, "Oh my God, I could never do that with someone."
And also,
really,
and also we're sisters. I don't think if I could do it with
a friend.
So I think it really depends. And also, I know that sharing the deck, for example, when you're alone, you own everything on the deck, so you're free to do like whatever you want. You can like press this button and then come back to this one. So sharing the deck sometimes it can be tricky as well. So I'm not sure it's easier. I think it's just very different, and it's very different. So,
and I mean, you two have an incredible like connection, so that also helps. But I would also think that if working together isn't something that you suddenly had to learn while you're professionalizing DJing, but you've also already like worked together, did stuff together, and you know how the other person maneuvers and does stuff, then it's easier.
So well. And so the fact that we were actually traveling together. So I was traveling a lot, but she was younger because she's younger than me. So she wasn't in age to travel with me. And then as soon as she turned 18, I was like, okay, you come with me now. And we started to travel together, and we got along so well that
because I think traveling together is the one thing that makes you know someone like very
I always say
well.
that if I'm in a relationship, the first thing I would do is like travel with the person.
That's so
because
important because you get to live together, you get to
you can only know someone when you travel with the person. Like that's when you can know that okay, I can handle that, I can't handle that.
But even us, I think we've always been very, very close, like since childhood. But I can definitely say that once we started to travel together, we just reached a new level of and we just like know each other very well. It's like it makes everything so faster and so smoother.
And it makes sense. It just makes so much sense.
Do you have any advice for duos or, particularly duos, for two people who work together? What makes a personal but also professional relationship go smoothly?
Communication.
And I think
the key
you
is
have
communication.
to...
You have to listen to each other, and you also have to like let the other person its own space. Like we all the time together and we get along, but that doesn't mean that sometimes we don't need like alone time. So you really have to, you know the person, so you really have to like let the person be her own person and be your own person.
I think you have to be very aware of our differences, and you can't force the person to be like you want, or the way you want them to be. You have to be like very conscious that they have their own personalities, they have their own needs, they have the thing they like and the thing they don't like. Even before we just said that we have our own creativity, our own way to do stuff. So I can't force her to create the way I like to create. So that's, I think, one of the most important things.
But I think it is the same as any like duos, like a friendship, a sentimental relationship. Like you just have to like communicate a lot, be very open to each other, like listen the other person, understand the other person. And I also feel like when there is love, like obviously you want the best for the person, so you don't, even when you argue, you don't try to like take over the person, like it doesn't make sense. You actually try to solve the situation. And so communication.
I think everyone really needs to find themselves in the relationship.
Yeah, exactly, and be comfortable. So let the person be the person, let the person do like, I let her do her and she let me do me, and that really helps. And communication is the key everywhere.
Is there anyone, like any, I don't know, musician that you would want to collaborate as well, or any DJ where you're like, okay, this, even though we're very flexible, this is someone where we actually want to have this being part of our
That's a hard question because there are so many good artists, like singers, producers, DJs. Like there are so many good people and interesting people we would love to work with. So just picking one is like very hard.
True, like, there are so many. And also we're not like, so our channel is afrobeats, but we're so open to different kind of music. For example, this summer we're going to be a lot in Europe, and in Europe it's like a lot of house music, and we actually love house music. So we said we're actually going to start DJing house music as well. And I'm
so
sure
cool.
That, and I'm sure that we're going to meet some crazy, amazing house artists, and we'll have some new like favorite artists. So it's so hard to choose just one.
Like, we really like to like be open to every opportunity that comes to us. So I think that picking one artist would just like close every doors, and we would just like start working only on this like direction. When we just want to embrace really everything that comes to us, that's too hard for me. Like just picking one is just impossible.
I can listen to like afrobeats. The same way I can listen to classic music because I played piano for 7 years, or house music, or like Afro house. So I don't really have like one favorite artist.
I must say, I'm really so fascinated with you two.
Thank you so much.
We're sitting here in your hotel and it's raining outside. It's super gloomy in Vienna, but your energy is so positive. It feels like the sun came here, really. And you're also so multifaceted. Like you shared that you're also listening to classical music and that you don't want to limit yourself. I think that's such a good message for me as well, for everybody.
That's something that I really hate is like, I feel like people like love to put other people in a box.
Yeah.
It's like if you that way, like I'm gonna take like example. If you, let's say, if you go to a club or you're a very like sexy girl, you can't be smart or you can't have a degree or something like that. If you have a degree and you do science, you can also be fun. Or, you know, like people, they have an image of you and they put you in box, and I hate that, because to me you can definitely do whatever you want, and you can be like any, and it's not like just, you know, cliche. Like you can actually be anyone you want.
But I think that's a big part of how we've been raised, because our parents always let us know that you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be. Like there is no limitation to what you want to do or to what you can do. And we've always been in very different environments. So first of all, we have like a double culture. So from childhood, it was natural to us to be like, as well, like in the French mentality and culture, but also in the Cameroonian one. So it was the same thing for everything. Like we went to the classic, we did classic music, and then we had like some hip hop dance like classes. So we've always been used to switch from
like you don't really like, you're not always connecting with the same kind of people. Like just connecting with everybody. You travel a lot, so you see like different kind of environment. And
you always have to adapt to new places, to new mentalities.
Whatever you want. If you like, I don't know, you like luxury stuff, but you also love to do like a humanitarian mission or helping people. No, but it fits together.
Like we actually, like last year, you spent a very adventurous birthday. She went to South Africa. She skydived, and my birthday this year, we went to an orphanage for a week. So we just love to always do different things.
So just do whatever you want. Don't say, this is not for me because I'm that way. You're not anyway. Like just do you. Just do whatever you want. Like life is so short, for real. Like it's not just a coach. You know, it's really
and like
short,
the world is so wide. Like there's so many things to see to just stick to one thing. I think it's a shame to just pick one thing. And
it's just like, in the end of the day, it's you. Like as long as you respect people around you and you don't hurt or harm anyone, like just do whatever you want. It's your life, for real.
I think that's like the perfect quote to leave the audience with. Just be yourself, do whatever you really want to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So nice.
Merci.
Merci à vous aussi. Where can we see more of you, hear more of you? Can you share?
Yeah, so we have, we're mostly on Instagram. So we have the common Instagram, which is JYCE, so JYCE. And then we have our personal page. So mine is Real Joy and her Gracie, but you can find our personal page on the DJ page. And then we're actually working on a
SoundCloud is coming soon.
SoundCloud and a YouTube show. So that's one of the big projects this year. We actually want people to like follow us. Because sometimes
to get like more intimate with us.
And also sometimes like we're facing so like funny situation and we're like, okay, we like, it would be so fun to share that with people. So we actually want to focus on the DJing first. And once everything is like settled like properly, we actually want to include the YouTube show. So as long as it's dropped, we share
yes,
the link.
Please, please. We also want to see more of you, and please don't be a stranger whenever you hear. Stop by.
And you have a new friend in Paris. So whenever you come, or anywhere in the world, actually.
Yes, exactly. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was really nice.